Okay, fine. So let's start.
Yes.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to do the reflection is that it will give for ourselves where we are and how did we start. So Lata has sent a document, and but you said that you are going to talk about it. So I will give you that opportunity. You go ahead and you can be verbal. But what I suggest after this is you make like a note for yourself. That is the best thing, because that will tell you what you have gained and what you want to gain. So both can be looked into. So that gives a direction. I was feeling that we four require direction, where we are going, and is it really making any positive sense? It is, but then we also will come to know what individually we need to do in order to meet wherever we want to go. So that will be like, at least every week I can update that document myself for mine, and Lata can do for herself, and you and Padmashri. That will guide, or that would show actually how we have traveled. I mean, the question comes that in the past life, would we be doing this and all that? But if you put yourself in the current life itself and see how you have started, okay, you will see that you exactly done what you would have done in the past life. There's nothing different about a past life and the current life. It would be almost the same, except that the face and the body and the dress what we were wearing, or whether we were masculine or feminine, except for that I don't think so anything would be different in terms of quest. So, but go ahead.
Okay, I think last time when we discussed, I have covered a majority. That's the reason I thought documenting that may not be that much important. I thought the future is very important. For that, I need to have a little bit of more thinking and foundation to think about the future. Okay, I will try to talk about that, but it may be a repetition. In that case, you have to excuse me.
No, that is okay. See, the reason why you have to go back, especially like we go back on pain. This you are not going back on pain. You are going back to find. It's like seeking happiness, right? So you started with Satya Sai Baba because you were in search of happiness. So even though you had everything, you had a job and you have everything.
Yeah.
But then something pulled you there, right?
Yeah, I will tell you how this is started.
Yes, sir.
See, when I was very small, my mother used to every day used to teach in the evening hours these shlokas. That is most of the shlokas from whatever she learned those days. I think they are all coming related to like Aushade, Chintade, Vishnu, Bhojane, Janardhan, like a small, then slowly bigger one. There, I was able to see God within my mother. I can say that much. My mother was like God for me. Whatever she used to say, just immediately connect with me. Whatever, no questions, nothing. That happened till her last breath. That much I can say. And that connection I have seen only with my mother, maximum. And in my property, you have seen there are two, that Nagavana and Rakteshwari. There are two places of what you call worship. It came, I think, when we bought that property, and every year we used to do that. It's called Tambila Puja for that. It is that is called Daivam. Na? In Kerala, that Kasaragod border, what we have, it's called Daivam. It is not pure Bhuta. It is not pure God. It was in between kind of thing, and. That is how I am exposed. That in my property, in my area, there is something. And my mother used to say that if there is something Ashuddha happens in my home, near that Tulasi, we have that in front of the house, Tulasi Katte. So that Naga used to come, and it after doing some prarthana, it's all in a live, and it used to go back. This is what my mother's experience. So I fully trusted, no question of any questions. For me, it is really God. That is how a image of that God has come in my mind. But I am naturally, those days, I wanted to get into Sanskrit studies. doing some Vedic studies, higher studies, because those days such things were not available in my place. It was only school. I was very, very naughty. And going to school and coming back and walking such a long distance, somehow I don't know whether I had so much of interest in the schooling. My interest more into this Sanskrit and that side. Because my mother used to tell very nice stories of her school teacher, how she started from the sand writing. There was no even slate and even this also. I was so much attracted. For me, throughout my life, I think till I saw you, there was no difference between religion and spirituality. For me, it was both. I have considered like one only. And I had complete love to any god, even Allah or Christian or anything. Dvaita, Advaita, no difference for me. All are like, there is a God, Sarvadeva Namaskaram, Keshavam Pratigachati. Like that I used to believe. And also no religion, nothing. Because my mother used to tell me that, nothing like that. It's all, there is one superpower. That's called God. So that God, that superpower, and finally, the moksha concept was not explained by mother to me. That is only, it has come. Moksha means you have to leave everything and you have to reach that ultimate. So even God concept also you have to drop. That is what, after interacting with you, it became more stronger. Till then it was not that stronger. I knew that you should disconnect Nirmoha and all that, even Sai Baba days itself. But my thinking was, it is almost same only throughout. Then, in my village, very nice temple. I used to go to the temple there and for all that festival. And for we had around, I think, 40 to 50 cows, small, that deshi cows of 2 liters kind of milk. And every week almost, or I can say monthly twice, we used to, a new calf means we have to carry the first milk to temple. And when you go to that temple, it's a village temple, one pujari, nice puja he will do. And after that, his home only, his wife will cook a fantastic naivedyam. And lunch, everything was so nice. But you have to walk to that place around 7-8 kilometers. Along with my sisters, I had to go, carrying the milk. And during that time also, I was very much connected with this so-called concept of God and spirituality. So it was there inside. But whenever I used to see some pandits, some people, those who are very good at Sanskrit, I used to listen to them. I don't know from where that interest has come. So much of interest. And that continued. I think after my engineering is over, when I came to Bangalore, so I was in touch with one person called that Girish Bharadwaj, hanging bridge person is there, his elder brother. So he was unmarried. He was fully into this only puja. That person used to get intuition, throughout intuition. He used to tell every day story to me because he was in Whitefield, Sai Baba Ashram, and he was taking care of some department, I think, some lab or something. So he was fully with the white panche and white dress and all that. Because when that guy used to talk about the intuition, when he started explaining to me, and my experience with him was amazing. It is Siddha Purushana. That is the experience I had enjoyed a lot with him. So much, including purchasing one house at Whitefield. The previous day he got a dream, telling that next day he said, go and buy. Within my 3 months of my joining ABP, 1987 I'm working. All that happened. Even today that house is there. And about my getting my first daughter, second daughter, their problems. I never used to ask him any problem and solution. He used to say on his own. And his experience with thousands of people, everything was like a truth only for him. And one day he told me that you wear this ring. Today Sai Baba will come to you and he will bless you and go. That also he told. It happened that day. He gave his silver ring to me. But I was only sitting far away from Sai Baba and just, bhajans and all people used to do. Somehow bhajan was not going so much to me. I was more of Sanskrit slokas. My liking was too much about those slokas. Bhajan was very slow for me. But Sai Baba's style was that. It doesn't mean that I was a devotee of Sai Baba. Because this person made me to listen to Sai Baba and he made me to listen to, going through his many books. All those books are Advaita. Now when I go and recall, I read so many books of Sai Baba those days. But still I used to think he is a magic person. But from my sisters and so many that their family, everybody was so much devoted to Sai Baba. But I was thinking, for me, Sai Baba somehow slightly outside the circle. I used to like our own so-called Hindu gods. My native place Muruga, that is Subramanya was God. He is our Grama Devata also. So everywhere very nicely connected. Home deity is Durga. And my father also used to do Sandhya Vandanam very systematically. I have seen him doing, because when I was in 7th standard, after that I lost him. By then, he is a very hard worker and a very great person. He was a Panchayat president also there. And he was also going to so many people's house for doing that Panchayat, settling disputes, they used to call. And from there I have learned the art of managing things, and then you have to tell always when you are talking, he used to stress, if you commit something you should know, and to do that you need that power. To get that power, what you should do, like that I used to just get those things from him. And naturally agriculture, middle of that forest nature, and even my high school also 15 up and down, put together 15 kilometers daily walk, and all inside forest only. All that made me to love to nature, and for me nature and God all are like same. This is what my background in terms of that childhood and those days. But after coming in, now I got so many people interacting. I think ABB is that person. I think I told you one more story also. One person used to come my home, elderly person, and he was exactly like today you can see our Sadhguru, right? Exactly same person. Even face and facial expression, talking, everything was same. He used to come to my home, be there for a day, 2 or 3, and then he used to leave. And he used to come and sleep in a floor in one place with one jodige. That's it he had. There's nothing else. But he used to take it in a very nice hot water bath along with oil and all that. My home used to get fresh, and then he used to go. Where he used to go, from where he used to come, nobody knew. Like that, he used to visit some houses. Not only my home, some people known to us in Sringeri also used to go there. And if you ask him, he used to say that I met Indira Gandhi here, like that. He used to explain everything about his interaction with so many people. But it is simple. Nobody knew where he is born, where is he going, from where he is coming. For me, he was like a rishi that time. One day in my life, I prayed for that guy, and I wanted some very tough mathematics problem, my school. And I just prayed him, and my problem is solved. And I was amazed. How I solved this, totally, it is not in the mathematics way, some other way. Then I was thinking, okay, that guy is a fantastic person. He is also highly spiritual, because he used to, I think people in my native place only, they were telling. They once, I think they were going from my home to that Kerala side, around 25 kilometers. They asked him, are you coming? We are going in the bus. Are you coming with us? Because generally he used to go to that side also. So he said, no, I'm not coming. I'm walking somewhere. He never used to say that, where is he going? And when these people reached that 25 kilometers, that guy was walking there. This is the experience of some people. Then I knew that he is some Siddha Purusha. And everybody used to talk with him about Siddha Purusha only. But he never used to respond about any questions of that. He used to just talk about his experience of Kedar, Badri, and all these places those days. Okay, all that made me to attract to all those kind of things. Instead of getting more attracted to this pure agriculture, I used to like more of that. But I didn't get opportunity. But after coming to ABB, I think I used to continuously travel, family, away from family and all that. I think when in 90s, after Ayodhya only, 94 or something, I don't remember exactly. One person told me in ABB only, why don't you come and join one yoga program? It's very good. His name is Patabiram in Vijayanagar area. And he teaches 1 week. I think once was our personality development related to spirituality. And the second one I attended about Gayatri. Third one I attended about something similar to that only. So I was so much impressed in the way of teaching, and I visited his ashram also. His ashram was nearby Ramnagar, that side. So it was so interesting for me. Systematically I found that, it's something good I learned. And that learning was very useful. I used to practice. After that, I started practicing yoga almost like a daily basis. After that, Nityananda. And all these people so much of influenced in my this journey, I can say. What you call, I used to call it spiritual, but actually it is religious, I can say. More of religious, less of spiritual. So then Shankara, I used to go to Ramakrishna Ashram also regularly, 1987, 1.5 years. That Purushottamanandaji, so that talk was fantastic, and I didn't know the difference between Dvaita, Advaita, and all those days. He used to very nicely explain about the spirituality, and it's a 45 exactly right time starting and all that. I was very much influenced, but every time I used to buy books wherever I go. All those books, when I am there now, when I see, they're all talking about all this Vedanta and Advaitam and all that. That is what I liked a lot in that. And real the spirituality understanding happened when I heard, I think 4 or 5 years journey now. Again, one of my friends, that is, his name is Uma Shankar. He was earlier in my team only, ABB. Then he joined, his big family. He wanted some money. Then he joined, I think, he visited US on some contract basis. Then he got a regular job in Siemens, and he became a director there. And he used to manage a very big projects, more than 100 million kind of projects. So that guy in the US, I don't know from where he picked up. He picked up this spirituality of this Bhagavad Gita through Paramarthanandaji. That person, Paramarthanandaji, then he shared with me also. Then at the time, Maunesh and me were talking a lot about spirituality. After joining ABB, then when I did, I think 1.5 year journey, every day listening to him, Bhagavad Gita, that made me a spirituality understanding. What is spirituality? Because he used to very clearly give the foundation of all this, what Tattva Bodha and Shankaracharya's basic, what is Atma, Paramatma, all those basics, everything explained, then Bhagavad Gita. That combination, I have shared with many people in ABB, I think you don't know, there are many people are interested in this topic, and they have gone through that also. And after that, I came to some level of understanding. Then your entry, Agnimile, I remember ground floor, Agnimile, ground floor, standing while having coffee. And that is the time you gave another twist to that religion, spirituality, what is the difference? You brought that Buddhism concept. When you brought the Buddhism concept, I didn't like, because I thought I am a Vedic person. And as per my all that knowledge, whatever I got, it was purely Vedic, and I knew that it is perfectly okay, fitting to my mindset. And I was not ready to accept Buddhism. The main reason is I heard through some people talking, Buddhism means Shunya, and Shunya means that, but Vedic is this is this, and it is how it is. And I got convinced that for me, best fit is this. But when you started Buddhism, I saw that you yourself also changed. Instead of talking too much about Buddhism and all that, you started talking about Vedic only. Immediately the connection became much more stronger. Okay, but that Tudita inside, the spirituality was every day increasing. Now also it's going up. And with this journey, what happened is that I started listening to now Buddhism also, because I got a message everywhere. Just a few days back, before you asking, I'm talking about 1 week ago, I heard on Mangalore Ramakrishna Ashram, there was a Shankara related talk, Shankar Jayanti. A few days back we had one very, very nice talk. He just exactly told Advaitam is ultimate, and if you want to put in the chronology, first is Buddha, second is Shankara, third is Vivekananda. That's what I have put also in that message. Because your question was one day after I heard that. And that is the time I started getting why you are talking, attaching the names, either Buddha or Shankara or anything. It is just Advaitam. That's it. So now I don't feel that I should attach any names to that. It's Advaitam, the pure Advaitam. Yes, journey of Advaitam is something is already covered with not deeper understanding. But practice point of view, yes, yoga is happening on a daily basis. that puja is also happening, because you used to say don't do puja, you stop puja, you just get into this. Somehow I was thinking that is impossible for me. Again I got one more lecture, or in the same lecture only, Shankaracharya's teaching was, first is arupa, and then you are doing a puja in front of you, keeping idle. So you have to, and Shankaracharya one person taught how to practice this one. Puja means you have a God concept, and then move into Advaita. And that is the best way to do that, because you need to have a foundation. Foundation is this. On that building Advaitam is very easy. So when he gave that lecture, it was exactly in line with my mentality, how it works. Then I thought, Chitta Shuddhi is this, and after Chitta Shuddhi, on that you have to put a foundation of Advaitam, and then leave this. Like in a rocket, he used to say that, leave that. So, and it is like, when you see the chronology, it is not, you practice for 1 year, this one puja, after that completely leave and go. No, it's a everyday basis. You get into Chitta Shuddhi first is Snanam, and then whatever that mantra, by chanting which mantra, along with the meaning I'm talking about, if it makes you to Chitta Shuddhi, immediately finish that and then come to the meditation. And for me, meditation is again Chandrasekhar Bharati of Sringeri. Even though he was a Pithadipati, I read his book. What I found is that even though he was a Pithadipati, he just left all this and he was purely into only meditation, days and days together, with the highest siddhi. And finally he got moksha also through Swaicha. He came to the river and Dehatyaga, he has done it. I think when you see that, it's all in front of you, written by recent stories, it gives a very good confidence that that's very much possible for anybody to do. So that is a journey, and association with you, I think daily basis. See, you are more of experiential sharing person than looking at the books, because books is for our benefit, because there is something should be there. So you have taken this Bhagavad Gita, so many adhyayas, sometimes going very slow, because you felt sharing experience is much more valuable. Even we accepted, and we also felt that's the right way. Now we are reached 18th Adhyaya, and that's the reason you are also asking questions. For me, this is second Bhagavad Gita. First one is purely from Paramarthanandaji. Second one is through you. Started with some chapter, and not from the chapter 1, and we have reached the 18th chapter. So you are now asking what is next. So next is, I think, in my mind, it is very clear that so far whatever the effort we have put, it has given the result to have that clarity and understanding, and the journey is easier. Easier means compared to those days, because there was no difference. I was not knowing the difference at all, but the clarity is there. And also what I found, if I put prayatna, the confidence is there. Yes, you can reach some very good level in this life itself. Up to what level is unknown, and maybe siddhi level, definitely possible if you put it siddhi level. Ichha marana, yes, possible, but is it possible moksha? I am too early to say anything, but that is definitely the goal. Moksha is the goal. And the environment what is I have received so far from this, I can say, this world, is because of the punyam. I think a lot of punyam has really acted on me. Others I would have visited US those days only, along with my other friends or some other country. I stayed in India just because, probably for this is a very better place for me to practice spirituality, and the environment or the ecosystem what I have is also very good, because I don't have to worry so much, because my father, we are all together, brothers, sisters, and all that. Like we are focused more on our native place, not a big issue. Even in Bangalore also not a big issue. Environment will definitely support me throughout my life. That is what one confidence I am having. Otherwise, there was no possibility of you coming to us also, because this is called environment. It helps. Right person will come, right, and he will do the right thing. Once that time is over, as per our karma, and then the journey will continue. Even though Deha is there, yes, till then it will continue. After Deha is not there, also I have a guarantee that we are climbing to the, every day we are climbing steps. Because today when I do the puja every day, that puja is not just puja, it is a spirituality, more of spirituality practice. I'm very clear, I can clearly see that also. But I'm not so much attached that I should get the siddhi, like a magical siddhis for me, because then again it will attract us to some other side of enjoying that. So whatever siddhi, if it comes, it should support for my spiritual journey. That's what I think. Goal is very clear, and I should go in that direction only. And the measurement of the outcome of this goal, I think I knew only 1 meter, that is called degree at which you react to a tough situation. Generally it's okay, a tough situation when it comes, how you react to situation. Are you getting emotional? Are you getting any of those Ari or Vaidis? That is what I should be watchful. That's one thing I know. Generally that happens only when I interact with the people. I think if I don't interact with the people, I don't have, because when I think in my thought, always I think good for others all the time. So that will not trouble me. That's what my thinking. But environment point of view, it has supported a lot. I think looking at the conditions, what it is, it will support me a lot further also. Because I am getting more and more closer to spirituality because of nature sends the right people to me. That is my feeling, Vilas.
Good, thank you so much. And see this 18th chapter, at the end of the 18th chapter, if not liberation, at least we should have the realization. So the realization as in how each one of us have a breathing and seeing and eating and smelling, tasting, all indriyas should become one. And the mind should be able to see, that is yourself, that self in everything. That means there is no difference between you and the other person, because it's the same. So that's the path. So if you feel that you are on that path, which seems to be the case from what you have explained, it's very good. The only thing you need to think it over or work out is to see this, that is when we breathe, who is breathing, or when we eat, who is the eating, when we smell, who is the smelling, and when we hear, who is the hearing. And you will find that there's nobody there, and it is all same. It is universal. It's not an individual. And then we can see it in animals, you can see it in birds, you can see it in basically everything, except for plants. But plants has consciousness too. So we can look at the feeling in the plant. So then we can see what should be seen, and that breaks the chain of the samsara. So I think you are on that, and it's good. I feel happy for whatever. But if you make notes for yourself, it's not about like what Lata has sent, that's a good thing. But if you can take a diary and just write, it will be fun. Actually, it will tell you how you have progressed, why you have progressed, and also it will tell you what you want from that life, meaning from this life, what is that you are seeking. And then you can pose questions to yourself of what are you seeking, and have you got what you are seeking. The whole idea is to get what you are seeking. So then the journey becomes even more interesting for you, because then you can see how to implement that in your daily life. See, one question you always been asking is that how to put it in the daily life. So that writing will answer your question, just like what Lata indicated some time ago about awareness meditation. So that if you really experience it, you don't require anything else in the world, because then you can be in that state forever. That's what we are seemingly looking at, meaning that happiness wherein it doesn't diminish, it doesn't do anything, it is just there. So if we can do it, it will be nice. Okay, anyway, thank you. But Lata, it's your turn.
Yeah, I will share the document.
I know you have shared a document, but you can make an what I can say summary of everything. You have not only shared the document, you have also but you have already shared your journey details in many different way. But what I want is that you can put forth and you can say that where you think you are and what do you think you want to have in future, or how do you want to work out. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine. So, but was starting from his childhood. So, that part I have not covered. So, maybe I should cover that.
yeah, please.
So, yeah, so anyway, I am born and brought up in Trivandrum. So, there in Trivandrum, there are quite a lot of temples. Everywhere there are big temples available there. And my family, at least my mother's family, they were all, frequent temple goers. So we used to go to temple very frequently. The old temples like the Krishna temple, the Shiva temple, the Muruga temple, the Devi temple. There are so many temples. So we used to go almost to all those temples every day. And then my mother always used to say, she says her intellect is not good. So for her, Bhakti Marga is the best one. So she is not intelligent enough. So for her to get moksha, Bhakti is the best way. She always used to say that every time. And she is a devotee of Guru Vairapa, Krishna. And so I am, and then also in every, I think from 9th standard onwards, I started lighting the lamp in our puja room every day in the morning and evening. So I continued till the time I left home and to go to study in MTech in Calicut. So till that time I was the one who used to do that very regularly. And then afterwards, then there was no opportunity, there was no puja room anywhere, so I dropped it and I restarted again when I had my own home. So that's how it started. And then every day in the evening when we were small, we used to do this Sandhya Nama and all this Nama, this Pratyunjaya mantra. There's so many mantras which I didn't know what and all that about. We used to chant every day. 6:30 we light the lamp and sit in the puja room and then do it. So this was which was continuing till the time I left the home. Then it all stopped. All that even today I do light the lamp in the morning and the evening, but I don't do this chanting thing. Okay, so then I'll again from childhood I had this habit of reading books. So me and my father had this habit of reading books. So many books we used to read. Those times it's not anything related to spiritual, but they're mostly other kinds of books. So I used to read it, and that also continued till the time I left home to study MTech, and then it kind of dropped and then again picked up afterwards. So the real journey started when I got 3 books from one auntie in this apartment. She gave me 3 books on somebody who has done this Himalayan Yatra or Kailas Manasarovar Yatra. There were 3 books. It was explained. So I was reading it, and the first time a different world was opened to me. So then in that it was mentioned about this autobiography of a yogi, and then I went and got that book. I read that book, and then it was there's one chapter which was mentioned what happens after death and where do you go, and there's an explanation of these astral planets and what things are over there and so on. So then I got interested about what is death about, and then I started hunting about books on death. There are so many books on death I have here with me. So I have, and all are written by some rishi or the other. So I started reading so many of those books, and then many other books, then Swami Rama's books and Yogananda's books, and many, I don't remember the names of the books, but then a lot of books on past life regression and all that kind. Many. So I simply go, I will feel like reading something, so I don't know which books to read. I don't know any names of authors or names of books. So I just go to Sapna Book House, go to that philosophy session, and I just look at it, and then whatever it looks attractive, I used to pick it up. I never used to go to any other sections in that place, but only in this section I go and then take books. So somehow the other books will come to me. So every time, almost once in 2 weeks, I used to go and then buy books and read it. So like that, I started reading a lot. And then at one point of time, I thought, and there they used to mention, and whatever I was reading is all about Advaitam only. There is no other philosophy which came to my hand. It was always only this Advaita. So they always talk about something which is single and one, and once you reach there, you are above all the miseries and things of life and all that. So you will have this kind of peaceful feeling, whatever happens around you. So then I got attracted towards it, and then I was wondering how to get it. And then I have the first book I was reading was Yogananda. So then I started exploring the teachings of him, and then I was also considering whether I should become a member of that one. What was that? YRF, SRF, I forgot. There is one spiritual society.
Yeah,
where
it's called as YSF, Yogananda Spiritual Fellowship Program, where they will give you that enlightenment. They will teach you how to do that.
Correct. So I thought I would become member of it, and then I considered it, and then somehow I didn't follow up on it. And then all those kind of exercises, something. Then I also got one book, the full book on this Kriya Yoga. I think I've shared that with you, Vilas. You have read it.
Yeah.
So then I thought I should do that. And then it is mentioned that you should not practice anything without the support of a guru. So then I did not practice anything. And then I started going through all the Sadhguru videos. And that too I have used to watch non-stop every weekend, except the time I'm cooking or doing something else. I was 100% of the time I was watching the Sadhguru videos continuously for many months together. So in one of those videos, he gave one, and I was always looking for some practices. Somebody is telling some practice to be done, but that's the first time I heard some practice Guru was mentioning about a 12-minute meditation which you have to do in the morning and evening, and he gave the method how to do it. And also he also told the only Guru Dakshina for him for that particular practice is 3 months you have to practice. So I started, I practiced for 3 months. And that's the time when all this light started appearing, all those kinds of visions and things like that. So that continued, and I was mesmerized by those visions, because I don't know what that is, and I went around asking many people, are you also? I was wondering whether everybody is seeing it or only I am seeing it. So I went around asking many people, are you seeing those colors and visions and all the lights and so on? But everybody said no. Then I used to ask them, close your eyes and then see. And then they used to say, no, you don't see anything. It is black, or it is when you are in the sun, it is kind of red or that. So nobody confirmed to me that it is there. Then I started exploring what these lights are. And then I slowly started understanding, okay, it is like when you concentrate your mind, that is when all these lights will appear. So it shows that you are making progress, but not in the real sense. So it's not giving much, spiritual growth in that sense. So then I started, then somebody gave me this book. The same auntie only gave me this book, told me about Sri M, and that's when I started reading his books. And that was the first book, I think, at that time he came. And then I started watching his videos, and he also gave one meditation. And I started following that, and I used to hear this bell sound, one single bell ringing when you start doing that meditation. So that every time you do that meditation, you will hear that bell sound. So I did it, but not very consistently. So I was not doing it every day, but sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't do. And then I also was looking at his videos, and then thinking whether I should go and join him and see whether he can be my guru and so on. But then in many of the videos he was mentioning, unless and until you come and stay with him, go and stay with him for a long period of time, he cannot guide anybody, because he needs to know where you are, what kind of person you are, what is your mental makeup, what works for you. So simply he cannot guide. So he needs people to go and stay with him. So then I thought, okay, that's not possible for me to do now. And he says, at least 1 month you have to stay. That's what he said. So then there is what other option I do? I have no other option where to go. So then I assumed, okay, let me make Muruga as my guru. So that's when I thought, okay, let him be my guru and then let him guide me what needs to be done. So I used to keep praying for him that I want somebody to tell me some practices and so on. So, and I have not realized at that point of time, but then I think I was continuously making this request continuously throughout the day. Even when I was in office, every time. If I look back, I can remember that was the only thing which was going on in my mind. So I think because of that prayer, I guess, Vilas, I still believe that. So I thought I was ready to take some kind of guidance, and that's when somebody appeared to give that guidance. So once you started interacting with us, then I have started getting the real clarity about what Atma is and what is this moksha means really. Even though I have read, but I didn't have that clarity. Even though even in the books whichever I read, I already got a understanding that spirituality and religion are different, and spirituality is something same across all people and not based on religion. So that understanding I already had. I already had an understanding that there is one Brahman and so on. But then I really did not understand what is Atma and what is Chidabhasa and what is all that things. So that clarity I got after I met you, Vilas. And then you gave those meditations, different meditation, Om meditation we used to do, and breath meditation. So then some experiences started coming up, and then really it started opening up a lot. And I also started during, I think from 2018 onwards, my intensity of the effort increased. Because I have somebody to tell me what to do and also to tell me whether it is working or not. Before I didn't have any such guidance. So I was putting quite a lot of effort there, and then it became, so I guess the real Shravana started once you started giving the discourses. So, and then the real clarity came and so on. So, and it culminated with that awareness meditation which it worked. And somehow, even though it was 1 year back, while walking from one room to the other, I was continuously walking, and in one instant, that kind of realization came into my mind what that self is about, even though it was a glimpse. Then with that, all the questions resolved. Then I didn't have any more real question which troubled me, actually. So that was something, one profound thing, Vilas. I should thank you for that, to show me what that self is all about. And that's, I think, what any guru can do, to put you in touch with something like that, or in touch with that subtle intellect. Then everything will happen on its own. So now, for me, I had to see how to, integrate that within me, or keep that as, or be in that state forever. So in that, I have not reached that state yet. Even though the mental agitations or whatever emotional swings and then reacting to situations has reduced a lot. Before sometimes I used to get very angry, I used to get very sad, sometimes I used to get very worried. So it is like I used to feel that tsunamis are running in my mind. All that has subsided, even though there are some waves, but it's short-lived. So I can recognize immediately, okay, something is happening, and that too not very often, very occasionally. So that much has been achieved in association with you, Vilas. And now I need to see, now somehow I got, for the last 1 year, I think I have been stagnating. And after that, for me to realize what that self was, even though it was 1 year back, even though I have shared with you that I have that blissful feeling in the awareness, but this one, it took me some time to figure out what that is. And over a period of 1 year, it took me to figure out that actually what that experience was. I was walking, I stopped in my tracks when that thing happened. So then I was also thinking what path to choose. So that path will anyway naturally come once you are putting effort. So you would know what to do. So for me, I was thinking, even though I thought I am in this Jnana Marga, but without bhakti, it is kind of dry. So both has to go together. The bhakti towards any god or the bhakti towards your own self. So bhakti has to be there. Otherwise, I don't think we can. And at least for me, I don't think I can make any progress. So now what I want to do is how to make my mind tranquil in all situations. That I should be able to have that contentment and have this vairagya. So directly I thought this vairagya we cannot practice. There should be some other way to. I tried that, but it did not work. So then I thought, okay, let me do the other way around. Let's see. Let me be contented or establish the santosha always in the mind. And then when you are always contented, then all these desires will not come up. So that desires will go away. And then slowly that vairagya will come up, is what I think. And then the second one is the ahimsa. Ahimsa means not putting I into everything that you are doing. So you shouldn't have that feeling that you are doing. Even if you are cooking food, you should not feel that you are cooking. Or if you are talking, you should not feel that you are talking, and that kind of thing. That's what I am trying to say. So and then one more thing, which I don't know whether, Vilas, you have to tell me whether it's right. So when you are this, what I consider as this pure intellect, is that thing which says I am, but not associate with a place, a name, or like a place like I am sitting in this room in Bangalore, my name Lata, or I am a male or a female. Without that first, that pure intellect, that is a subtle intellect.
Correct.
And that is the Chidabhasa. And I think we can go only till there.
Yes.
Beyond that, it is difficult.
No, it's not difficult. It is just a reflection. So you only recognize the reflection, and then you see the reflection in everything, and thus you eliminate the need to go further. So what happens then is this light, what you will see, that Chidabhasa, you will be able to see that there is this consciousness which is pure and bright, and it is everywhere, which is unmanifested and it is undirected.
Yeah.
So at once you will see the ananta of that, and you will not be able to measure that intensity which is aprameya. Then you will be able to see who is real and who is unreal. So the Chidabhasa is unreal and the Chitta is the real. Right? And that is Sach Chit Ananda. That Chit, what is there. So basically you can only, or we all can only go up to the Chidabhasa level. That is the reflection level, not at the level of that reality. So you will get in touch with reality, so that you go away and only the reality exists. And that reality existence as present is what is called as liberation.
Okay.
So the subtle intellect also will go away, which says I, that subtle, that also goes away, leading you to the only light.
Yeah, that's.
Now in that there is no you left.
Yeah, correct. So right now I am able to go only till that, and that too is not 100%, but still at least that much is clear.
Yeah, so when we say see the light, it doesn't mean that you will see like this brightness light of a sun, because that is how it looks. But what instead you get is the jnana. The jnana here is that you, there is no you at all. That means there is no personality as such. And there is no personification, because you is everything, all inclusive.
So this is one experience I got during this, what do you say, that awareness meditation, which I said that it came in a flash. It is not that something you see the light, or it is something you see with your eyes or something. It is like that knowledge which is dawned on you.
Correct. So that is called as prakasha. So when we say prakasha, people misunderstand it to be a light coming there.
Yes. So that is what I was. That is why I didn't. That's what I was. What do you say? So then, after you know it, then all these explanations which you give make sense.
Correct.
It is Vedanta. It is not having any color. It is not having any shape, and it is full of bliss, and it knows everything. All makes sense once that knowledge dawns on you.
Yes. So till that time, it is a real puzzling thing that should I see light, or there is no light, and it's darkness, or there is light, or there is red in color or blue in color, or whatever that
Exactly.
is. Good.
And to process that information, it took me 1 year. I don't think I even have told you about that time,
Okay.
because I wasn't sure what was that. I only told about the bliss. I didn't tell about this.
Okay. That's good. So now we have reached a particular point where in Bhagavad Gita, the assumption made, especially 18th chapter, is you have realized the Chidabhasa. So, okay, that is the assumption what is being made. So some of the concept, when we go further, when we talk about sattva, karma in sattva, rajas, tamas, and goes into so much of detail, unless we have clarity on what is karma and what is akarma, which was taught about in the 4th chapter, it becomes very intellectually driven, and also it will not lead to anything, because it will again lead to some confusion. Like, then should I work or should I not work? That would be the first question which comes. Should I be employed or not employed? It's not a question of whether we should be employed or not employed. It is all about the pain and suffering one has to undergo in every life, irrespective of whatever he is born as. So the birth itself is a problem. It's not about whether I should work for this company or that company, or have a good amount of salary or not, or whatever it is. That is not the question. The question is, how do we eliminate birth and death cycle? Because as long as we are born, we are going to die. And as long as we are having a lot of raga, dvesha, moha, we are going to lead another birth in whichever existence it is. But the problem is that existence also will go away. It will not. So the thing what we need to do is to at least realize where we are going, and that's what 18th chapter is all about. This is for people who have realized what is Chidabhasa, they have understood what is Satchidananda, and they want to experience Satchidananda forever, and that is meant for 18th chapter. So if we are struggling to know what is karma and what should we be working, or should we be working with family, or should we be doing this or that, then 18th chapter would not make us experience anything. And that's the reason I thought we should have some reflection sessions to reflect upon what we have understood, what is that we want individually, how is that we can help each other, all the 4 of us helping each other, and seeing whatever is to be seen. And it doesn't mean that we will get liberated, at least we will get realized. And when we realize, you know what is that realization is all about. Just like you now know, Lata, what is that awareness all about. So if somebody says that there's something called awareness, you know it.
Right.
So there's no question on awareness. But if we use an English word or whatever word it is and say awareness, and the question comes, how should I be aware? And then the answer is, while seeing, you need to be only do the seeing. And now, I'm seeing what I'm seeing, right? So there is no answer to such questions. Then we going to say that it is experience related. So a question then comes, how do we experience? So we can only experience by reflecting on where we are, not by any other means. So we need to constantly at least once in a month or once in 2 months, or at regular intervals, we need to reflect what has happened, not from the beginning like what we have done today, but at least from the last 1 month. Where am I? Okay, and what did I leave and what did I add up? Meaning, what samsaric thing did I leave and what spiritual thing have I adopted? That will give us the sadhana chatustaya to take a very strong shape. Otherwise, that will remain as it is in the books and we will be doing something else. Okay, so we have 1 minute left.
Okay.
So anyway, I have informed Padma Shri that tomorrow she can also verbalize if she has not written it down. So we'll do the same thing with her. Let her spell out whatever she wants to say.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So we will.
I think very interesting. My daily routine is now that Nirvana Shataka. Nirvana, what do you call?
Yeah, that's correct.
Vairagya, it's called.
No. Nirvana Shataka is not about Vairagya. It is about going into Sachidananda Rupa.
Sachidananda, Shivoham Shiva. It's very, very interesting because it reminds me every day.
Yeah, I am listening to that every day and many times. So when I wake up, the first thing is Kamyasidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. That keeps coming in my mind.
Yeah.
As soon as I wake up, this is the thing which comes up.
Thanks a lot, Vilas, to introducing that one to me. Otherwise, I would have known that such a beautiful jewel is available.
Right. I am also every day listening to it whenever possible.
Yeah, good.
Day first, I downloaded some 10 people's different singing. Very nice. The Sri M is beautiful.
Yeah, Sri M.
I am listening only to Sri M, not anybody else.
SP Balasubramanian also has done it. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Bye.